Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating with the race this weekend. A relentless mist continues to keep the track wet and not race-worthy. Practice has been shut down for the time being, hoping for more favorable conditions. The sawdust is down and the races are here. Better weather is in the forecast, so it is just a waiting game now. Alec Hins takes advantage of the delay and puts in some extra car maintenance. It is Saturday and qualifying has started. There has been a delay this morning to allow the track to get to a usable state. You can see here it is still quite wet. The cars will certainly pick up some weight as they run their heats. Alec is on track with sweep teammate Xander Johnson. I would guess they both went out on Defender tires in these conditions. Xander makes a little mistake in these unpredictable conditions. He will surely quickly gather it up and push to the end. The buggies are hitting the track now, and will be a little more susceptible to the ever-changing track character. It is going to take a little finesse to put up some fast laps in these conditions. Talk about reaching up and grabbing, Trevor gets whiplashed. Josh Ford is looking pretty adept to this track, and keeping up his speed. He cased the jump there, but with a slippery approach and heavier cars, he is not the only one having trouble clearing that obstacle. Xander gets a little hip check to the boards at the end of the front stretch. That's 2 minutes for roughing if you ask me. Here is Trent Igniszewski with his Mayako. He is a pretty quiet young racer, who has really started find his speed these past couple years. He is also wheeling a prototype Mayako Truggy this weekend. His team has 3 of them at this weekend's event, and are working on setups and development. Let's check in with team principal John Igniszewski.
So I'm out here at the MNRC race, hanging with the Igniszewskis, and they have the unique opportunity to run the Mayako prototype Truggies. And we're gonna talk to them a little bit about this this new truck that's supposed to hit the market soon. And so, what are you guys thinking about the new platform coming out from Mayako?
I've been liking it so far. It's been fun to try them. Something not many people get to do. So it's been cool, kind of learning them because they're different from the Mugans and the ones we ran in the past. So I've been liking them so far.
Yeah, right out of the box, I would say the setup is pretty close. We're just playing with the little things here and there and trying to get it to fit each driving style is the biggest thing, probably.
I took a brief look at the vehicles, and there's some unique features, specifically the carbon fiber rear bracing. Is that like a tunable option? You can put different inlays in there. Is that the hope?
I suppose down the road, but as of right now, I think it was just kind of a added strength in the back there, because they didn't have the rear chassis brace kind of made yet, so that was kind of added to help with that.
So super nice, I'm sure, to be sharing parts with your Buggy program now. I know a year ago you were probably running the Mugen stuff. So
Yeah.
is there a lot of crossover?
Yeah, I
between
mean,
that?
a lot of the, the center line stuff is all the same. Obviously the arms and the rear shocks, just different shafts and stuff, but that's one thing they wanted to kind of keep the shocks the same too, front to rear. And so kind of the parts, it's always the parts thing, so you can have less parts.
So are the differentials a different ring and pinion ratio than the Buggies?
Yes, they're different also.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's some of the stuff that they're working on. Like I said, just shock towers. I think we got them kind of where they need to be at this point, and I guess we'll see how the weekend goes here again. So the nice thing with the Mayako brand, once you're a member, you're allowed into the Discord channel, and you get to talk to JQ, Robert, and David when he was there, Jared. They're all available to talk to on there about different setup things, and as new parts come out, it's all discussed on there. So it's just kind of a little behind the scenes thing that you have access to, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's an incredible value, honestly.
Yeah.
The Invisible Speed books that everybody's familiar with are well written, and they're very helpful to understand, what things are doing with the car. So
yeah, just little changes in what you can do to do this, do that, and
Yep.
yeah, that helps a lot.
yeah, I know, John, and you and I have been in this game a long time, and you think you know it all, but I'm still referencing, cheat sheets and books or whatever to make the car do what I want. So
Yeah, it's changed a lot over the last, I don't know how long we've been doing this.
a long time, since the 80s.
Yeah, long time, just different things, and it's different, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
It really kind of comes back to the same type of things that you're doing.
So what else are you guys running with your gear? I see OS motors.
Yeah, pretty much all OS motors. The AD3s, been running them OS for years, just reliable. You just know what you got. And actually this year we've switched to the Fly Sky radio, and so far, I don't know, what do you think?
I've been liking it. It's been
it's
light, easy. It's just nice screen. You can see everything on it.
The battery is nice, the way that works, as far as, you got two batteries, so you never really, because we've been in that situation where we forgot to charge the other ones, and that's not good. So that's kind of something different for us too, I guess. Tires, we don't really have a specific one, a lot of J-Con stuff.
So you got that, people out there, they're primed for a tire sponsorship. It's an awesome program they got going here.
Yeah, we got 7, 8 cars on a given weekend that we're running, so it goes through a lot of tires.
Yep, cool. What about your servo gear? What have you guys doing there?
There again, nothing particular. Had a lot of Nitro Pro stuff, it seems like it's been lately. Had good luck, so you kind of stick with that. It was Fatava before that, but it seems like they're pretty proud of the prices of that stuff, so we kind of trying something different. And yeah, kind of doing that.
Well, excellent. I really appreciate the time. These guys are podium contenders at every race they go to. So exciting to see how you do and how you progress with these trucks. So good luck this weekend, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Due to the rain delay, qualifying has continued on into the evening. This adds additional elements to the round, with varied light conditions and a track which will develop moisture. Carter doesn't seem to be having any trouble with the lower visibility, as he runs quick, consistent laps with his team-associated T4. Zach is also looking quick, as he closes the gap quickly and moves past Carter. Caden is also in this qualifier. He is having a pretty good weekend, and is looking to safely qualify into the feature race. Here is Frank Miller's ultimate powered techno. He is looking dialed, but is right on the bubble. He needs a good final run to put him into the feature race. Qualifying day is coming to a close. It has been a long day and everyone is ready for happy hour. It is main day and the weather is looking great. The skies are clear and there is no rain in the forecast. The track crew is putting some final touches on. Here is Gary, hanging the podium backdrop. The guys are out with the blowers, cleaning the racing line of loose dirt and debris. This crew is expertly measuring out the starting grid. It is going to be a great day for some racing.
The B main has started. Frank Miller leading him out, top of the grid, followed by KP, Riley Myers. Frank going a little wide, KP sneaking to the inside. Zach Van Dalen threading the needle through the mayhem. Will follow him into the first off camber there. Looks like Alan Smith and Frank Miller. So Frank dropping to fourth position. He won't be happy about that. He shorts triple. He's got to calm down and regroup. KP Rains out front. Mugen Truggy looking good. Look at that corner. Rotates nicely onto the straightaway. Frank Miller, Riley Myers, David Ohm, Stefan Benende. Looks like the order. KP has got an earful, Zach Van Dalen, as they head down the front stretch. Little wing high, KP, little styling, heading through the big triple, both through cleanly. Zach giving them all kinds of pressure. Zach Van Dalen running Techno Truggy, expertly prepared by the FTR crew. Oh! KP gets it wrong, hits two. Kate gets righted by the marshal. Zach will go by to take over that top position. Looks like Sean Van Dalen yelling at the marshal. Marshal not by the cone, creating a blind spot for these drivers. Those cones are there for a reason. Oh, KP getting it wrong in the rhythm section. Zach Van Dalen rolling it over in the off camber. Gonna tighten this right back up. That Mugen turning great. Might have to ask him about his setup on that truck. These guys pulling away from the third place battle. KP hitting that tube again. Giving Zach a little bit of more of a margin there. keeping him honest. Zach short in a big triple. KP smoothly through. Lap Truggy giving him room. There we go. Nice corner by both of them. And a little bit of mayhem. Battle for the Alan Smith having all kinds of trouble. Gets backwards on the track. Ends up collecting another racer. Nobody wants this third bump position. Alan Smith running the Techno Truggy, normally a main contender and podium finisher, having a little trouble again with the lapper. Not sure what happened to him in qualifying, but this isn't his normal scenario. Oh, Riley Myers on his lid. That's going to tighten this battle right back up between Frank Miller, Alan Smith. Nice tight corner, puts the move on Frank Miller as heading into the S section. And he's right on Riley Myers now. Riley holding the bump, Alan wanting it. Nice jump, holds it tight, pulls the old Frank Miller maneuver on Riley Myers as he goes through the X section, taking over that bump position. Looking good now, Alan Smith finding his pace. First round of pit stops, here comes Frank Miller, Amberly giving the grab. Fueling him up, here comes Zach. Sean Van Dalen with the quick fill and release. KP Rains in for a bottle feeding by Chelsea. Gets a little wrong on the out lap. No marshal needed. Good recovery. He's got to get his legs back under him and charge ahead. Riley Myers right there in tow, so he retained the position. So this is the new battle for the third place bump. Alan Smith moving to the second spot. KP currently in the bump. Riley Myers wants it. Young gun against the veteran. Safely through the rhythm section, but a little deep on the off camber.
Allen's in the 2, 18-3.
Check back in with Zach Van Dalen, putting on a clinic at this point now, pulling away from the field. Looking really smooth and relaxed. Oop, decides to double single. Must not have had the approach. Wise choices made by the youngster. Safely through the rhythm section, looking to put a lapper. Lap down. So battle continues. KP still with the upper hand against Riley Myers. Riley tapping the tube, decides to lift. Double single. No marshal required through the rhythm section. Smooth. Nice off camber corner. Lapper gets out of the way for him. We're cycling through the last pit stops now. There's Stefan Benende in and out. KP Rains in for his last bottle feeding. He's on his way. KP retains his position as Riley comes out of the pit as well, so still in third bump position. Riley Myers still in tow. That was not KP who was getting marshaled, so he's one truck ahead of him, 1.5, whatever. He's heading through the off camber. Riley Myers goes a little deep, needs some marshalling help. That's going to give KP a slight breather. Order still remaining: Van Dalen, Alan Smith, KP Rains, Riley Myers. All kinds of cars piling up on that off camber. That corner is not as easy as it looks, gentlemen. KP through the triple. Riley through the triple. Looks like he's gaining some ground. Had the truck up on 2 wheels through that corner. Off camber. He avoids the upside down traffic. KP down straightaway. Through the big triple. Safe. Alan Smith found his pace. He's catching these guys to put him a lap down. Riley through the S section, trying to keep it smooth and gain some ground. It's actually a few laps later here. You can see the gap. There's Riley. KP is on the off camber now. Riley right there. Alan Smith. Riley lets Alan go. Maybe Alan doesn't know the battle at hand here. He surely doesn't want to impact that. Goes for a dirt nap. Oof, something happened to KP now. Riley giving him a bumper touch there as they head into the rhythm section now, right together. Oof, Riley threads the needle. KP hitting that tube again. It's going to cost him the position. He does get going. Alan Smith right there. Does he know? I don't think he's aware. He's getting his truck in there. He'd let these guys race out. It gets a little crazy, so out of the picture for now. Looks like that made KP a little nervous, but he nails that corner. A little slippery, hard on the throttle. Gains a little ground on Riley. Down the straightaway they go. Nicely through the triple. Lapper getting out of the way, letting him race it out. Triple, double. That darn tube. KP rides the tube but makes it work. Slams on the brake, not to get into Riley. Down the straightaway they go. Little wing high. Riley gets it a little bit wrong. Around the outside, KP Rains takes the position back. Looking good now. Battle is still on. We got to be near the end of this race, creeping in on the 3-minute mark or so. Oh, KP gets it wrong on his lid. Look at that. Alan Smith knows the importance. Gets out of the way. Lets these guys race. Good sportsmanship. Minute 10, says the announcer. Triple, double. Through the off camber. triple cleanly. KP through as well into the S section. Oh, something must have happened. KP lost a little bit of ground there. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Riley gonna hold him off. Down the straightaway they go. Oh, KP. Oh no, Riley on his wing. Needs a marshal. KP is going to tighten it right back up. Alan Smith gets out of the way again. Nice sportsmanship by Alan Smith. Letting these guys decide it on the track. He doesn't want to be part of it. Oh no! That was it. Last lap. Riley pulls it out by a fraction of a second. What a race. Fantastic.
It was so fun.
Well, gentlemen, I got that shit on video.
That was a good battle.
Beep. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can hear the Jaws music, and then it was like, okay, now the Predator's the prey.
Yep. We both came up the driver's seat like this. It was so intense. Best
awesome.
race ever.
That was awesome.
I've been in. It was fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
We pulled her off.
First time making
That
an
was
A-main,
awesome.
so
Good job, man.
Good job, man.
It was so
I mean,
fun.
now I'll be the guys running around in the back for the A, but I'm okay with that.
It's all right.
I'm just happy to be there. So
Yeah, generally B mains honestly are more fun, but
They are.
they are, yeah.
get that pressure.
You
that
get too many
extra
fast drivers in the A-mains that you can't hang with, and then you're getting lapped like every 10 minutes, and it's like, geez, or 5 minutes.
Yeah, hard to find a rhythm.
At least that, you get to do a really good battle. So
Yeah, that was insane. I'm like, well, Zach's gone. That's boring. I'm like, well, look at Riley's kind of maybe putting some pressure on. That was awesome.
Started to fall back towards the middle. He probably had like 6 seconds, and then I don't know, just kind of I cleaned it up and started clicking laps, and I was just hanging it up when I needed to on that triple. And
It's pretty easy to get into a funk when you lose track of the guy you're trying to chase, but
you almost want to give up. You're just like, just kind of hold it. But I kind of pushed a little bit and just tried to make the smart decisions. And
I don't know what happened in the pits, but I was kind of watching KP where you were at, and then all of a sudden after a pit stop, Riley was right there.
right there, I seen him.
I'm like, holy smokes, did they put fuel in that thing?
I know.
I can't thank him enough. He's quick with it.
I seen you at the corner of my eye the whole time I was watching, and when I seen you at pit lane, I'm like, hurry up, fill that damn thing, Johnny, hurry up. I was yelling at her, fill it, fill it.
Well, you want to say anything about your gear, your sponsors? I gotcha.
Sure. Which one, me?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I want to say thank you to Mugen Siki Racing for the awesome cars. It was excellent. I ran some sweet tires. I think they were super soft XL. There were 2 blue dots and an XL behind them. I bought from Carter yesterday. They were phenomenal. They were hooked to the track, a super carbide. And I want to say thank you to my family for letting us play this game all the time, because I'm completely addicted to it. So
Right on. Nice job.
thank you.
I just first off thank my dad for being here, supporting me, supporting the program. Bringing the camper. We got a shower, a nice bed. I think that shower really helped me out. But the only thing I got to thank is Seth and Sean for getting us into it, everything they've done for us. And then I don't know if you want to show that one right there at FTRCR. That's my only sponsor. So
I like the color, man, as you know.
I got a little inspiration from somebody I know. So
Yeah, fantastic. I kill that word. That was awesome, man. That was a really exciting race.
yeah, that was. I would say that was my best race, just because working under pressure. I kind of notorious for folding a little bit, but we made it work today.
Yep,
And
your racecraft looked pretty solid. So,
yeah,
congratulations.
I think just hanging it up when I needed to was really what made that difference, because I started, I failed the triple a couple of times, got upside down, and he was telling me on the mic, he was trying to keep me calm. He said, just keep it smooth. You got to hang it up on the triples, do it. I hung up the back triple a couple of times too, but yeah, that was a really good battle.
Yeah.
That was the
the best battle I've ever had in RC, for sure.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the A, man. We'll be watching.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just disaster.
Not much. So I've escaped to the Van Dalen pub here, and there's a little bit of drama at that last race there. What happened with Zach's truck exactly?
Hinge pin popped out, and
It was the mechanic's fault, which was me.
Oh no.
Yesterday after round 2, I did some clutch maintenance to his truck, and then I
put new arms
put
on
new
the
rear arms on. And when I was bolting it together, we have this little like rear D-block screw. I just put that in and then assembled the hubs onto the arms and put the shocks and sway bar on. And I never went back and put the 6 screws back in the bottom. So he went out in round 3 and ran, he had 4 that were half, they were just backed off, but the back 2 weren't in. He finished round 3 somehow, so we didn't see it then. And we didn't see it until he broke it in warm up.
Yeah, late finish last night. We just went straight to bed. I was tired.
Yeah, I had a question for you, and it's like, he's sleeping by now.
Yeah.
But that was a quick repair. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Got him back out on the track, and then, you know, he checks out and wins the race comfortably.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes, over the years, sometimes that adrenaline pump that you get from having to like, am I going to make the race or make, you know, and then that scramble, that adrenaline turns into focus on the racetrack. So that's one thing that I can say, is try and find that focus before your race, or how to gain that focus.
So now you got, from your camp, you got how many trucks in the A, Sean?
Well, these two, Caden's running my practice truck, and Zach's running my race truck. So these two, Caden did really well this weekend. Wow, he was on fire at least the second and third round. So he did really well. So, but his truck is good. We got it ready. We're looking at tire change now, because I think the track's going to a little more medium style compound, maybe a blue or even an aqua if you're running later in the day. So,
Yep.
yeah. But we're getting Zach's charged back up, and it's dirty, but it's a race truck. It's ready to go. It's maintained and ready to go. It's not clean, but
Yep.
we gotta change some tires, stuff like that. Yeah.
So Seth, you're not running Truggy this weekend?
No.
Focused on buggy stuff or
Yeah,
Worlds?
just focused on the Nitro Buggy for Worlds, testing some parts for Worlds, some right now I'm just changing a gearbox out. I stripped a screw in the gearbox cover and figured just put an entire gearbox on. So switching the gearbox out, just getting ready for the main. Already did diff maintenance, so
Well, awesome.
yeah, just focused on Nitro Buggy for Worlds. My e-buggy's down there gutted to fix Zach's truck, so I ripped the hinge pin out of the front to get his truck back underway. So
That tends to happen. It's almost the quickest option. It's like, where are those parts? I don't know, grab that truck.
yeah, well the Techno
Sometimes-
changed their hinge pins from their previous generation of car, like the old .3 stuff. We still have some of that stuff floating around, so we just didn't want to accidentally grab a short hinge pin and then just
Yeah,
waste
they're-
more time. So
So
I just
6 mil shorter.
So I tore it out of that car, and yeah, we still have some of those old parts floating around, which we shouldn't, because
I hear you. Sometimes it's hard to part with. It's like, I might just need it.
well, and there's still people running the car, so it's like, those guys could need it. That's the whole reason we don't get rid of this stuff. So, but we need to at some point.
Well, awesome. Congrats on your program this weekend. It's looking good. You're looking fantastic in the 40 plus.
Yeah, that e-buggy is good. That brand new e-buggy is really good.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put. You can see over there, my Nitro car has no front or rear clip, so I'm gonna put the e-buggy's front and rear clip on that after I race it.
Always tinkering.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if the front end and rear end of my nitro car. My nitro car is a little more aggressive than my e-buggy, but I'm doing better with my e-buggy than I am with my nitro. So so I want to see if I put the front end and the rear end, you know, because it's definitely different. The new car, you know, has the different spindle hubs and different stuff on it. So, and that's an older 2.1. It's not actually a 2.2 car. So we'll see if that's the difference. If it's.
What was your thought process in running a buggy in the 40 plus?
You know, the boys.
Logistics?
Yeah, because it's like you double run a truck and it's just tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. And after last weekend's race at FTR, Sully Sawinski stayed. He's a new techno driver this year, young kid, and him and I put probably 3/4 of a gallon of fuel on our buggies, on our nitro buggies on that Sunday. So wore out 2 sets of tires each. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run buggy. I'm used to it, you know, because truck you have to be a throttle jockey. You really gotta push them.
Yeah.
So buggy you gotta be a little bit more conservative. And I thought with, you know, coming here with an e-buggy, I thought, you know, I'll just run the nitro car too to keep it more similar to driving style.
Sure.
So yeah. So those guys will be faster than me in 40 plus, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just having fun.
Yep, I hear you.
Now I'll see, you know, if the e-buggy, if I can get some of the comfort. You know, the e-buggy, I was like, I wanted more, but then I had more with my nitro car, and I was slower overall in 6 minutes. So maybe I don't need that more. Maybe, you know, the car's like mild understeer is actually keeping me at the correct corner speed rather than charging the corner more and then losing the rear
pivoting
end or
the
whatever.
car.
Yeah,
hard pivot.
So it's kind of, I don't know. So that's why I'm kind of doing it. It's a test. If I go out there and I rock the world and nitro, 40 plus nitro with the e-buggy clips on it, we'll know something's up.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
So Truggy A main underway here. We've got Jeremy Whiting leading the group out from the TQ position. He's got Greg Baumel, Tony Sletton, Zach Van Dalen in tow there. Alec Hins rotating in the 8th position. Not the qualifying effort he had hoped for, but this field is stacked. So he's got Alan Smith knocking on his doorstep as they head through the rhythm section. Oh, Alec going a little wide. Alan would take the position. So Zach Van Dalen making a move as Tony gets the rhythm section wrong. That puts Zach in the 3rd position. Got to be the biggest mover so far in this race. Zach, the B main winner, so bump up driver all the way into 3rd on the podium early on in this race as he's starting to track down Greg Baumel. Oh, he shorts the rhythm section. Trying to let Tony Sletton back in, but Tony doesn't get the off camber right, so no position change. Looking good there. Tony with his team associated T4 through the S section. Oh, Zach tumbles on the end of the rhythm section. Tony will go by. Greg Baumel had a little issue, so these guys will stack right back up. The battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Jeremy Whiting with his Kyosho Truggy coming through the triple section there, looking pretty good. Low and slow through the S section. On the grip line through the rhythm section, nice and smooth. A little deep on the off camber. That thing is not easy.
Jeremy Whiting down the straightaway, followed by Greg and Tony.
So Jeremy Whiting followed by Greg Baumel, the Wisconsin boys with their Kyosho Truggies leading the way here. Looks like Tony Sletton's back by Zach, or is by Zach, so Tony in 3rd, Zach 4th. Josh Ford 5th. Looks like Caden Hins is up to 6th in that shot. Having a good run. Looks like the first round of fuel stops are about on us. Getting busy in the pits. Nice in-pit shot there. So after the pit stops, Caden Hins taking over that 3rd position, I believe, from Josh Ford. So he's leading Josh Ford and Tony Sletton now around the track as they head through the rhythm section. Josh getting it wrong there. Tony hits him a little bit, not too bad. They continue on. So Caden Hins having a good race, moving into the 3rd position. Zach taking down Jeremy Whiting. I'm not sure what happened there, but Zach out at the point now. Could have been them speedy pit stops by the Van Dalen crew. Xander Johnson there trying to get into the fight. He's right on Greg Baumel. Had a little trouble after the triple. Nice corner on the off camber. So Caden Hins now making the move on Jeremy Whiting to put him into the 2nd position. Little wing high there. Looks like Tony collected Jeremy on that drop down. Yep, there's Josh Ford now. So our ticker tape's a little behind. The position is Zach, Caden, Josh Ford are your top 3. Through the triple, nice landing, keeps her tight on the grip line. Good control, nice through the rhythm section. Tight through the off camber. Check back in with Zach Van Dalen out front. Through the rhythm section. Quick through the off camber. Quick through the apex there. He is looking sporty today. Alec Hins here continues to have his battle with Alan Smith. These guys have been kind of going at it this whole race, exchanging blows. Alec now shorting the rhythm section. Alan Smith will go by. I'm sure they both had different plans for this event. Team Associate T4, OS Power. Staying on the grip line. Shorten the rhythm section. Just doesn't have the get up and go. So back up front here. Zach Van Dalen, your leader. That was not a position change, but Xander looking to maybe catch back up a bit. Caden through the triple, nice and smooth. So order still remains Zach, Caden, Josh Ford, Greg Baumel, who is now right on Josh's back doorstep.
5.5 minutes remaining.
We're now 5.5 minutes, so last pit stops are in. Just pure racing to the end of this one. And it appears like Zach is on a Sunday drive. Oh, comes in a little hot. Hits Alan Smith. Alan Smith gives him the frustration nudge back. Don't think that any of that was really intentional or ill intent. Alan not having the best weekend. Probably a little bit of frustration. Whoa, George goes on his wing and Alan Smith has to go way outside to get around to not get collected. Through the rhythm section he goes, through the off camber. Techno chassis, Alan Smith hanging right with Zach Van Dalen, so definitely had the pace, just was not in a position to be in the fight. So creeping up on the end of this race, Zach still showing the way. He doesn't have really any threat from behind. Just needs to keep his lines, keep his pace. Here's Alex sitting in 9th position at this time. Not a battle with Greg Baumel, just testing Greg's pace, see if he can hang with him.
2.5 to go.
There we go. We're down to the 2.5 minute mark in this race. And there's a little bit of a battle that appears to be developing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. There's Caden having to double single through the big triple. And he's got Josh Ford now starting to close the gap, and Josh is bringing Greg Baumel along with him.
3 and 4.
Caden gets the off camber a little wrong, scrub a little bit more time off.
2.4 seconds.
Got 2.4 seconds. Josh Ford behind Caden Hins. There's Caden through the rhythm section. There's Josh entering the rhythm section. So definitely blood in the water. Josh closing the gap here. Greg Baumel right there on the straightaway goes Greg. So any mistake in this whole top, besides Zach, order could change. Josh definitely hammering it through the S section into the rhythm section, no problem. Off camber, good and tight, smooth. Greg hanging right with him. So master clock has expired. This is the last lap. Caden Hins shorts the triple, keeps her on all four. Josh right there now. Head through the chicane, rhythm section. Will they get through smooth? Caden cleanly through the rhythm section. Josh as well through the off camber. Around the apex, Caden will retain second. Good race.
Hey guys, how's it going? Say I was prepping some tires for the next race using my glue jig, and I want to talk a little bit about the positives and negatives about using a glue jig. Let's go for the positives really quickly. You can make a really nice uniform bead on the front of the wheel, so when you put it in the vise and you've got your tire properly set and it pushes down and you run your glue around. I like to use a thin on the front of the wheel, and then you slowly release your jig and pull pull the rubber over and or up, you can get a really nice uniform, smooth front bead on the wheel. Now the drawback to using a pinch vise is when it pushes that rubber down, it actually pushes it back against the bead, creating a seal, so your glue will not penetrate to the bottom of the bead. Now you can check this. In fact, you can check any of your process to see how good your gluing process is. So if you do the front of the wheel first, then go ahead and pop your foam out and turn your rubber tire inside out like that. You can look behind here. You see how I can pull that up? The glue did not penetrate all the way down in most places. Even though I'm using a thin CA, there's all this rubber that is not adhered, and you're not taking advantage of, using that full bead to glue your tire on. So it is more labor, but I always turn mine inside out, and then I'll use a different viscosity glue for control, like AKA tire glue, which is a little thicker, or I like to use a Zap-A-Gap, which is the medium CA. I don't have the advantage of having a hobby shop right in town close by, so I have to order glue. And Zap products are very convenient because you can get them on Amazon, and they work quite well. So I'll use the Zap medium, and I'll glue around the back of the wheel, gluing this extra bead around. So with cost of tires these days, you would really want to protect your investment. So you're probably wondering then, well, how do you do the back then? Well, when I get to the back of the wheel, I just I'll just do it in the vise or in my tire jig, and I'll use the thin CA, and I just go with that, knowing that I'm not getting the full glue to penetrate to the bottom of the bead. Why is it not an issue on the back of the wheel? Well, the forces on this wheel, when you're going through a corner or anything on the track, the forces on the front of the wheel are substantially different than on the back. So your glue is getting tested on the front face of the wheel, not so much on the back. If you may have noticed that if you have tires coming loose, or if you need to repatch them up with glue, it's always on the front. It's rarely on the back. So that's why I always do the front first, so I can go on the back side and glue down the additional insurance bead on the back of the tire. That's it. But you can check your process, whatever your process is, do the front of the wheel, and then turn your stuff inside out and see how good your glue is penetrating to the bottom of the bead. You might want to put some insurance glue on the back. More labor, but definitely worth it. Like I said about the why I use a jig, why wouldn't I just not use a jig? And some people, mash the tips on their glue bottles, or they'll use that straw to get it down there. You have to be pretty careful and patient when you do that method, because you're pulling the tire back with your thumb by hand generally when you're doing that, and you run the risk of having a bead that is not uniform and could have waves in it. So yeah, more labor doing it the way I'm doing it, but definitely a good way to do it, to have nice, smooth, uniform glue tires. So give it a shot.
So the Buggy A main is underway. Seth Van Dalen TQ leading this group. Josh Ford currently in second. If you look at the ticker tape below, that was the starting order. And I was unable to do this race justice behind the camera. Alec had some issues and I got quite busy, so this is kind of just a little bit of a highlight reel. There's Josh Ford, Mugen, looking good over the triple. quite a bit of rubber down on the track by now. Lots of traction. So Seth not running in his normal colors, saving his bodies for the Worlds coming up. Here's Alec having a pretty good start. Bump up from the B main. He's moved all the way up to the 7th position there. Jeremy Whiting right in tow behind him in the group, which is Sully Sawinski, Peyton Heiser, I'm not sure who else, but Alec wasn't really happy with this car all weekend. He's been working on it, trying to get it better. There's James Dolan, Tony Sletton, Greg Baumel looks like. So yeah, James Dolan having a good race. He's in the 4th position in this event. Would end up, I believe, on the box. There's Sully Sawinski in his Techno ride. He's got Seth Van Dalen right behind him there. Gets way out of the way, closes the door on Xander. Well, got out of the way and then was in the way. And there's Peyton Heiser. I don't have much information on him. Showed up to race with us. Good driver. Maybe we'll see him again. So that's kind of it for the coverage I have on the A main. The ticker below was the actual finishing order. But fun weekend.